Hello, everybody. This is Brandon with Spark at Choice Valuation, and I am making this video for those of you who are either switching or are considering switching from another data importing tool to Spark. There are some differences from other tools, and I just wanted to make a video because we do get a lot of questions and people having issues because it's kind of a whole different paradigm of looking at things. So I just want to avoid any potential frustration you might have by letting you know a few things up front. Okay, so the first question I normally get when people are switching from another data importing tool is, how do I install it? I can't find the link to install it. It's not on my desktop. Where is it? So Spark is a website. It's not a program you install on your computer. So just like when you go to log in and check your account balance with your bank, you just go to the website, you go to whatever bank it is, you log in with your user ID and password, and you're there. And so the benefits of that are Spark will work the same and it will understand all your settings and all your preferences no matter where you are and no matter what device you're on. So if you're on your laptop and you got to answer a few things or take care of a few things while you're away from the office, you can do that. Or if you're in the office and you're on your desktop, you just go to the Spark website and it's all going to work the same. So just keep that in mind. Spark is a website, not an application you install on your computer. And to get to Spark, first of all, it'll take you there automatically. So you can go to, when you go to sparkforappraisers.com, which is where you went to initially sign up, or if you're considering signing up, this is the website you go to, sparkforappraisers.com, and you click Get Started Now. And essentially, when you click Get Started Now, all Spark does is it takes you to the main Spark site, which instead of sparkforappraisers.com, it's app.sparkforappraisers.com because this is the actual application. So you go to app.sparkforappraisers.com anytime you want to use Spark. And what I do is or what most appraisers do, I should say, is just bookmark this. So you star it or bookmark it or whatever it is with your browser. And then every time you open up a new page, you just go straight to that bookmark and you're golden. What I do is I just type in app and hit enter. And Spark knows where I'm going because I've been to that site more than once, so it knows that's what I'm about to type in. Okay, so now the next thing that comes along with Spark being a website and not a program on your computer is that many of you are used to your computer. When you download the file from your MLS, you just open it up and that automatically pops you right into your data importing tool. But since Spark is a website and not an app on your computer, it can't do that for security reasons. So what you do is you download the file from your MLS just like normal. And you can see in this case, I've already actually downloaded two files. One has my comps and one has my competing properties for my 1004MC. And this is just how most data importing tools work. You go to your MLS, you're the appraiser, you choose the comps, and then you also do a search for the competing properties for your market analysis, and you export those. So now I've got those two files. So what I've done is I then go to the Spark website, app.sparkforappraisers.com, and I got to pick my effective date. And then here, I load in my comps, and I believe that was this file right here. So I just take it, and I just am dragging it up to where it says upload under add comparables, and I drop it on. And now Spark is translating that data. There are 4 comps there, and it's done. It also pulled in the public records data at the same time. Now I can go and load in my subject. That's very similar to other data importing tools, though, so I'm not going to get into that. Of course, anything I'm going over, if it's confusing or frustrating or whatever, just give us a call, and I'm happy to walk you through it. Our contact information is right here, so you click this gear icon, and you click Contact Us, and you'll see our information right there. Okay, so I got my comps. Let's just say for the sake of this little demo here that one of these is my subject. Maybe it's a pending sale right now. I'm going to take it up and drag it over to where it says add subject, and I'm going to drop it on there. Now I could also just click that button and then upload the listing of my subject or type in the address or parcel number, but I'm just going to drag this up and pretend that that's my subject, and Spark converts it to my subject. I got my comps and I'm a happy camper. I can of course drag these around. Now some other things I'm just going to briefly touch on. Anything that's in red means there's a discrepancy between MLS and public records. This property, I just hover over it and it shows me public record says that, MLS says that. You can set it up to default to a certain one. So if you want Spark to always use MLS for GLA, but you want it to use public records for site size, all you do is you click it where it says Cite, and you change it to whatever data source you want it to be, Public Records or MLS. Then when you hit Save Changes, Spark will remember that going forward, so you don't have to worry about changing that every time. You can also customize all the other little things in here, the abbreviations, the transfer history information. By the way, that's another key difference between Spark and other data importing tools is Spark will actually load in all the relevant transfers, not just the most recent one. So if your subject, for example, transferred 3 times in the past 3 years, it'll load in all the data for all 3 of those transfers into the comments field. Okay, so other things you're going to want to care about here is the MLS setup. So let me show you that. That's a key one actually, because with some other tools you don't have to do a setup. With Spark you do. It's part of what allows us to be much less expensive is that we require the one-time setup. This doesn't apply to every MLS, but to find out if it applies to you, what you do is I hit start over here like I'm going to start again. When you get to the screen where you're about to upload your comps, or any data for that matter, you're going to see this yellow button that says need help with file setup. Click here. The first time you use Spark, definitely click that so you can read through it and see if your MLS requires a special setup. Now, when you click that, it knows what MLS you're in, so it's going to take you to the instructions page specific to your MLS. So I can watch the video and see how to do it, or I can just read the instructions, which are these right here. Now in my MLS, which I'm in Armless in the Phoenix area, it takes about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes to do the setup. In some MLSs, it does take longer, like maybe 5-10 minutes tops. And in some MLSs, there is 0 setup. So if you come here though, it will explain it to you. It'll tell you how to export the data so that it works with Spark. And again, if you need help with any of this, just give us a call and we're happy to either do it for you or help walk you through it. Okay, so I think we covered all that. So I'm just going to show you one more time. So essentially, you load up Spark, you load in your file. It's pulling the public records data right now. Now it's got everything in there. I hit next. And now let's say I've got my grid how I want it. Now I want to go to my market analysis. I click that. And now here is where there's another key difference, and that is with these files. Now, competing properties is what Spark will use to calculate your 1004 MC. So whatever you load in here, and by the way, you can just click the plus sign, tell Spark where that file is. And I didn't mention that earlier, but if you're using another browser like maybe Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, these files won't show up here. In Firefox, they do, but they're in a different place. There's a little arrow up here. You can click the arrow and then drag the file over. But if you're in Internet Explorer or Edge, the files don't show up like this, so you can't just drag and drop them straight from the actual window. So all you do, though, is you just click the button where you were going to drop them, and you just tell Spark where the file is. Now, in this case, let's just say that this is the file I want to upload. I can just take it, drag it up to this plus sign. You can see it changes color a little bit. That's when you know you're in the right spot, and then you let go. So now Spark's uploaded that. I can click next, and I've got my 1004 MC filled out. Now, I didn't load in real data, so you don't see legit numbers here, but I loaded it in, so this would all be filled out. And you can see it didn't fill out the 1 unit housing though, the low, high, and predominant. And other tools, most other tools don't do that, but Spark can do that. And that is what the neighborhood properties file is for. So whatever you load into the neighborhood properties data set is what Spark will use to calculate your low, high, and predominant price and age. So if you use the exact same data for your 1004 MC as you do for the low, high, predominant price and age, you just drag the same file up there. But if you use different data, then you would load in that other data set. Most appraisers do use a different set of data, a larger set of data. It would be, for example, all the single family homes in the defined neighborhood boundaries. Again, you do that search in your MLS and you download it. So for most appraisers, the difference from other data importing tools is they're used to having 2 files, one for the comps, one for the 1004 MC. But in Spark, you could actually have 3, one for the comps, one for the 1004 MC, and then the third one, which is for the low, high, and predominant price and age. Just kind of depends on how you do things. And then when I look at the market analysis, you can see now it has my low, high, predominant in there. And of course, none of this is real because I just loaded in fake data, so those numbers don't look right. But essentially, that's how it works. And then the last thing I'm going to get into is how is exporting the data and actually getting it into your report. And then last is the charts and comments, which is another one that we come on quite a few times. So I'm going to show you this one more time from start to finish, loading the data into Spark and then loading it into your report, just because I have a feeling this might look really daunting and confusing and slow, but it's actually really quick and easy. So let me just show you here. I'm going to click start over. And actually, I'm just going to close this window and we'll just start like it's from scratch. So go to the Spark website, pick my effective date, and then I drag my file up. It's translated that data and got public records. I hit next. I can see the grid, verify I like things, move things around if I want to. Then I can go to market analysis and I can load in my competing set of data. And let's just pretend I have a third set of data down here, which I don't, and load that up into here. And now I'm set. I hit next. And then now at this point, I could go in here, and these numbers are all going to look bogus, but I could go in here and make my decisions about whether things are up, down, or stable. And then when I'm all set and I'm happy with everything, I hit export. And then I hit go. This is just a screen to verify things are going to go in the way you like them. And then I hit go. And now at this point, Spark is creating a file. It's packaging everything up. It's getting all your digital work file information there, and it's packaging it all up to send it off to your form filler. And that's this file right here. So at that point, all I do is I click that, and then Spark will, I'm sorry, actually now at this point, your form filler will probably take over, depending on which form filler you have. So I use a la mode usually, and so this is the window for a la mode. I can either choose to create a new report with that data or merge it into a currently open report. And that's pretty much it. And then you do that and it loads all your data in and you're good to go. There's other videos for all this other stuff, but the last thing I wanted to show you is actually the charts and comments. And the reason I just showed you all that is to show you that it actually is fairly quick and easy. You just drag your files up or you load in your data and then you hit export and push it all into your report. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is an actual true market analysis and how you can customize the comments and charts. So I'm going to change my effective date back to load in some legit data I have. And I'm going to skip loading in comps and just go straight to the market analysis, which by the way, you can do in Spark. You're not locked into a certain workflow. So if you just want to do the MC, just do the MC. If you want to do both, you do both. If you just want to do cost data, we also have the cost data, so you can do the cost approach and all that. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to click the plus button and I'm going to load in real data. Now this is a big file. Don't be scared off by that. I know your files will probably not be this big. Now, the reason is because I went and got essentially 10 years worth of data, and I also got all status types, listing or active, pending, expired, withdrawn, temporarily off market, everything. And so there's a lot of data in this file. In fact, this one that I'm uploading right now is 3,300. So it just finished uploading it. Now it's crunching it all. And we'll just give it a second here to finish that up. Normally this won't take quite so long because you probably won't have files that big. By the way, the limit in Spark for these properties for the market analysis is 10,000 per data set. And for the grid, we have a limit of 30 for the actual sales grid, and then 10,000 for each market analysis data set. Okay, so now I'm going to click next, and I should see some real numbers here in the 1004 MC and the 1 unit housing. So yep, I'm happy. That all looks nice. Now, the way we designed this is you hover over checkboxes. Spark will show you how much things are actually going up or down based on how you want to analyze the market, not based on these three numbers, but how you actually like to analyze it. That's all customizable. That's for another video, so I'm not going to really get into all that, but it's kind of, well, obviously, it's kind of cool because you can basically set Spark up to analyze your market how you want. And then as you go through here, you can quickly, but also very easily and accurately mark what the trends are because you're looking at exactly the results of the analyses you wanted to perform as the professional. So anyways, the way you would do it though is you click, like let's say you want to make sure the charts for sale price are going in the way you want and the comments for sale price are going in the way you want. What you do is you click right here where it says median comparable sale price, and now it's showing me the charts and comments related to sale price. So I can then look at the charts, make sure I like them, I can customize them. We're not going to get into all that, but the main thing I wanted to show you is if you want to not include a chart, you just uncheck it. If you want to include it, you check it. And if you want to customize the comments are built based on the analyses, and the analyses are basically these cards. So it's telling me I'm analyzing my competing data, I'm using price per square foot, and I'm analyzing it over 12 months in a scatter plot. So that's it. And then this one is basically the same thing, but instead this is my whole neighborhood data. And so I can see the difference between neighborhood and competing. And this is per year. I believe by default Spark shows you as per month, so it might be more like 0.2 or 0.3% or something like that here. But anyways, to customize the comments, you just click the analysis that you want to make comments on, and you say include in comments. You just turn that on. So here, I'll turn it on. You can see that orange comment just shows up right there. And then if I want to include the low high, I click that, it pops it into the comment. And if I want to include the actual regression result, which is this 2.7% a year, then I click that, and then Spark actually puts in another sentence saying this analysis shows a change of plus 2.7% a year. So it's all up to you based on how much you want to include or not include in your actual report. All the data goes into your work file, but only what you want to go into your report will go into your report. Okay, I think that's it. I know this video got long. I apologize for that. Hopefully we covered enough. And then at this point, I would just hit export and send it all into my report after I went in and checked the boxes. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions or have any issues using it, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And thanks everybody for watching.